Welcome back to Smeatharpe Stadium here in Taunton. Brisca Formula 2 stock car action. We've already crowned our new Grand National champion, Luke Wrench, taking the win in the first part of our programme. 2 heats have taken place as well. Another 10 qualifiers to be sorted out for tonight's meeting final in the Consolation. Unfortunately, the rain is starting to come down just as the cars head out on the rolling lap, and you can see how slippery the concrete is. Ben Goddard in 8.95 has spun one on his way round to take the start. Typical, the rain arrives, all these cars on dry weather setup. Seems to rain at some point during every Brisca F2 meeting this year, so 10 cars to go through from this one. Then Ben Spence and Sam Birchall on the front row of the grid, the 228 car pulling off to the centre there of Stuart Deacon. John Palmer's out in this one, problems for him earlier on in his heat, of course. He should start as the favourite for this Consolation. There's a rainbow above the raceway. Let's hope things dry out again while this race takes place. There's Jess Ward in the 86 cover. They're struggling even on this rolling lap. You can see the rain coming down. This is going to be a real struggle, this race, especially as with a banger race having just taken place on the support programme before this race. The circuit's very slippery as it is. So here we go then. Here goes nothing with the Consolation race over 16 laps. Ben Spence leads them off in 9.03 ahead of Sam Birchall in the number 10. He gets sideways on the reins the first turn. He's gone. Well, they're barely getting above rolling lap pace at the moment. They've just got to hope that things dry out as the race goes on. You can see how much slower the cars are compared to the 3 races we had in part 1. Ben Spence leads the opening lap then in car number 9.03, but he can barely get the car turned in there. Gary Kitching in second, Jack White in 1.82 is in third place. The 636 of David North running out wide there. 320 of Matt Hatch gets it sideways ahead of Paul Moss in the 979. He won a final earlier this season here at Taunton, despite having blown his engine in practice that night. Had to go in the Consolation after missing his heat, then came out and won the final. Can he do the same here tonight? Slide their way around. John Palmer's already fairly well up in the 24. Matt Hatch spins in 320, takes out Brian Lindsay in 663 with him. There's just no grip out there whatsoever. It seems to rain at some point during every single stock car race meeting in the UK this year. Whether we're at Skegness, Kings Lynn, Birmingham, here at Taunton, Buxton, wherever we are. There's Julian Coombs, 828, past the recovering Sam Birchall. He spun on the first lap. Matt Hatch getting it sideways there in the 320. Ben Spence with the lead, going very deep into the turn there. Gary Kitching second. I think Julian Coombs is still in third in 828. Ben Goddard moving through, the man who spun on the way to the grid. You can see there just snapping from understeer to oversteer. It's like driving a hovercraft on concrete in these damp conditions. Matt Hatch has gone again in 320, facing the wrong way there. Tries to get out of the way to safety up against the fence. John Palmer ahead of Jack Cave. Good to see he's back out after taking that big wallop in the Grand National Championship, and he gets spun out there by the 979 car of Paul Moss. Behind him, Will Adams. Recently took his maiden final win, of course, at Birmingham, as we mentioned earlier. 24 of John Palmer, moving nicely up the order. He was the pre-race favourite going into this one. 86 Jess Ward in the aerofoil-less car takes a hit from Jack Prosser in the 844, but Spence going well here, still holding on to his lead in 903. But there hasn't been very much overtaking in this one, with the exception of Palmer and a couple of others coming through, because there's just no grip to make a challenge on anybody. You go for anybody's rear bumper, you just spin yourself out. 572 of James Lindsay attacking Julian Coombs. Passing Matt Hatch's stranded number 320 car. Coombs took a fair bit of damage to his front suspension earlier on, so he's done well to repair. 137 Russ Chadwick tries to put the power on, just spins around in 137 in the background. Lost Will Adams there on turn 4. He's parked up against the wall out of the race, so he won't make the final tonight. Still your leader is Ben Spence in 903. He's driving very carefully here. There he goes into turn 1. It's good driving by the man in 903, just sliding a little there off the turns. Well, the rain coming down, and we've got the sun coming out now as well, so not only there's no grip, the drivers won't be able to see where they're going coming down the back straight either. This country makes it as difficult as possible weather-wise for racing drivers at times. Second place is Ben Goddard, they're the 895 car, and John Palmer's third in number 24. So they're the main challengers to Ben Spence, who just goes straight on there. You can see no grip at all going into turn 3, just couldn't turn the car in there. Weather possibly easing off just a little bit now in the closing stages of this race. Typical, as we come to the end of it. Palmer still there in third. White Graders battling it out behind them. There's Ben Goddard, he's second in 895. Slides it through turn 4. Quite a gap ahead to 903 of Ben Spence, though. A few car lengths in it. There they go round turns 1 and 2. Palmer trying to make his way past the back markers as Ben Spence comes up on Jess Ward in the 86 car. Oh, he's locked up. He's going to go straight on into turn 3 again. This is Ben Goddard's opportunity. Spence tries to turn it back. Who's going to come out of this with the lead? They're side by side now, and it is Ben Goddard who pulls ahead down the home straight on the outside. Well, Ben Spence just locked up there going into turn 3. He slid straight on. I thought he was heading for the wall at one point. John Palmer's there in third. Sam Birchall, number 10, spins on turn 4. Everybody goes wide to miss him. It's 895. Ben Goddard suffered the embarrassment of spinning while on his way to line up effectively before the rolling lap even started, but he's recovered well. See him just wrestling with the wheel there as they come down the back straight. I don't think John Palmer's quite going to catch him as Jess Ward gets into a slide. She spins out, nearly trips up John Palmer there. Down the home straight into the final lap they go then. Can John Palmer close up on Ben Goddard and try and attack him into the final turn? There's a couple of back markers in between the two of them. Palmer is not going to get close enough, and it's going to be a win for the Blue Grader. Round the final turn he comes. 895. Ben Goddard wins the Consolation race. Second place will go to John Palmer. I think Ben Spence did keep going for third. Good effort by the White Grader who led all but about the last 4 laps of that one. Well done indeed to 895 of Ben Goddard. He's had a bit of shale racing experience, so that might have helped him there as well. John Palmer had to settle for second place this time. Spence third, then confirm the rest of the results in a moment. Poor old Matt Hatch there had more spins than I could count in there, but it's Goddard the winner ahead of Palmer by just over 2 seconds. Spencer Fine third ahead of Paul Moss, then Gary Kitching, White Grader rounds out the top 5. Julian Coombs next ahead of Jack Cave, and then Matt Weston, Jack Prosser and Russell Chadwick, despite a spin, completes the top 10 and the final qualifiers.
Consolation winner 895 Ben Goddard. Conditions got a little bit difficult there was a bit of rain.
Yeah, it was interesting. The Formula on first left a load of oil and rubbish all over the track, and then it rained and everyone was out on dries. It was quite an interesting race.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it, when there's no grip like that and you're just slithering everywhere, aren't you?
Yeah, it was a bit more luck than, well, I think it was quite luck. A bit of luck really, but it come all right. Type job, yeah.
And of course that now gets you into the final, which hopefully should be a good race.
Hopefully the final will be good. Yeah, if it stays the same it'd be ideal because we're sort of halfway there, but it's what it is, isn't it? Same for everyone.
Well, good luck with that one.
All right, thank you very much.
Drivers certainly struggled a bit in the Consolation. Thankfully the weather easing off a bit ahead of the final. Of course, the main event took place earlier on, the Grand National Championship. It's the meeting final coming up next for the Ladies' Trophy, an annual trophy presented here at Taunton. Ben Spence is on pole alongside Jamie Jones. We've got just under 30 cars out there for this one, a couple of the qualifiers not making it out. Gary Kitching is there, Jamie Ward, Scott, all the big names from earlier on, further back on the grid, the likes of Charlie Ginchard, Luke Wrench, to continue his run of podiums tonight. He had a win and a second so far. Aaron Vate, Stephen Gilbert, Matt Stoneman, John Palmer, they're all out there for this one. It's Harley Burns, Ben Borthwick, Stephen Gilbert with the black and white roof, of course, British champion. Luke Wrench starts from the back. Spence and Jones lead them round then. Here we go, 20 laps for the meeting final for the Ladies' Trophy. The race gets underway and there's still a bit slip and slide out there. It's still fairly slippery on the concretes. The Raiders already attacking Ben Bacon. He's taken wide and wallop straight in we go. Chris McCula and Harley Burns haven't even got as far as the green flag on the start line. They'll pick it up from the back though. back straight, Blue Raiders all over each other. Joe Marquand, Ben Bate is in there. 352 Dave Sansom under fire from our Consolation winner Ben Goddard, and Ben Spence gets fired straight on there by Gary Kitching in the 746. He'll try and take the lead on the inside. They're side by side down the back straight, but Ben Spence hangs on ahead around the outside line. He's gone way wide there through turns 3 and 4 though. Somebody else going in up there, one of the White Raiders. Blue Raiders falling over each other as well. Ben Bates in there. Oh, and 137 Russ Chadwick comes in and wallops straight in we go. Mark Gibbs, Matt Stoneman, a couple of others involved there. Ben Goddard spun as well. Mayhem there on turns 3 and 4. And who does that belong to? I think that's Mark Gibbs, who has shed a wheel. He gets collected by one of the yellow tops there. The race is going to have to be stopped with a loose wheel. That's going to win if it goes much quicker. Obviously a dangerous hazard there, a loose wheel on the raceway. Well done to one of the marshals here at Smeatharpe Stadium. Rescues the offending wheel there. That'll be returned to Mark Gibbs, its owner. The cars being sorted out into the order that they were in when the race was stopped. Of course, a loose wheel, a very dangerous hazard there, because if a car was to hit it and it would be flicked up into the air, who knows where it could end up. Mark Gibbs getting collected in that pile up there. It was him who lost the wheel. His 3-wheeled 578 car being towed onto the centre. He's out of the race. Also lost Chris McCula on the first lap there, taken out in a tangle with Harley Burns. But Ben Spence, it is your leader in a good battle with Gary Kitching until the caution flag came out there. See how slippery the tarmac, the concrete I should say, still is here at Smeatharpe. Jack Cave fairly well up, he's the first blue top. Further back the leading red top, looks like it's Ben Borthwick in car number 418. John Palmer's well up, he could be a favourite here. Here we go then, ready for a restart. Bumpers already going up there, Paul Rice gets fired wide, Palmer and Wrench renewing their battle. Two of Stephen Gilbert getting involved as well. It's the White Raiders up front, Spence fighting it out still with Gary Kitching for the lead of this race. Paul Rice trying to go round the outside there. Oh, we've got a spinner. That's Jamie Jones, number 915, facing the wrong way. They've all missed him. Brian Sheehan attacks the 539 of Hartnett. They come round turns 3 and 4. Palmer making up a few places there, as is Luke Wrenchfitz. Gary Kitching in 746 who has got the lead as they go into the back straight, under fire from the 903 of Ben Spence. They're side by side on the road to turn 3. Up to third is Joe Marquand in the 689. He's made a good restart. Ben Borthwick's up there as well, and Ben Bates in the 161. And behind him, John Palmer's made a great first lap of this restarted race. Kitching leads the way. Here comes Ben Spence around the outside. He's got him round the outside on the brakes. That's a good bit of driving, more like a circuit racing move there. 3 wide as we go into turns 3 and 4. This is going to end in tears, surely. Somehow they've all got round. It's John Palmer who gets through and makes up about 3 places in one move. Ben Borthwick behind him, then we've got Wrench, and then Aaron Vate in 184. You know what happens when he's behind you, he's going to get his bumper in on you. And Vate then on the inside in 161 in the pink car with the blue roof as Joe Marquand attacks for the lead of the race, and he goes through, coming out of turn 4. He's past Kitching and Spence, so it's Joe Marquand, the 689, third generation F2 racer who leads the way. Wrench with the bumper on Palmer, their rivalry continues. And then is the 184 of Aaron Vate. He's pushed his way through. Gary Kitching falling back into their clutches as well, but it's the 689. Joe Marquand, the Blue Raider, who leads the way. Grandad have raced F2s before him. Ben Spence still there in second. He's having a good evening, but here comes the 184 of Aaron Vate. Then it's Ben Borthwick. Then John Palmer gets some bumper from Luke Wrench, and wallop in he goes into a spun car of Jack Prosser there. Gary Kitching gets caught up as well. Disaster for the points leader, John Palmer. He's going to have to fight his way, I think, from almost a lap down now. So 689 leads the way then. Joe Marquand will go up to red grade if he wins this final. We're halfway through it. Aaron Vate is in second. Then it's Borthwick in 418. Playing their way around. It's still a little slippery out there. Wrench is in 4th position in 560. Can he keep up his run of success tonight? Well, Aaron Vate is attacking for the lead. Is he going to get the bumper in here as they go into turn 1? No, he's going to go up the inside instead. A clean pass there by 184 Aaron Vate. That's unusual. He normally likes to use the front bumper, as we've seen so often this season, but chooses to take the inside line and get through on the brakes instead there. So Aaron Vate, your new leader on this meeting final, ahead of Marquand. Borthwick in third, then Wrench in a tangle there. Oh, Ben Spence has been taken out. Oh, what a shame. He was having such a good run. 9:03 Ben Spence. We've lost him. Tries to get it going again down there on turn 4. He lights up the tyres. He spins again. Oh dear, oh dear. Anyone for donuts? Poor old Ben. Any hope of a good finish gone. There's our leader. 184. Aaron Bates. The National Mini Stocks racer. Coming up on the 9:20 at Wayne Watch. So on 8:01 Jack Cave as Spence rejoins a couple of laps down ahead of them. Coming into the final 5 laps fairly soon. 184 Aaron Bates. It seems just keeping the car on the edge of adhesion on that outside line, just sliding it round there. It's clear of his opposition. Pick up the second place fight in a moment. This is a good measured drive by Aaron Bates. Started on pole for the Grand National Championship earlier on. There's somebody that's hit the wall. Who's that? I think that's Charlie Ginchard. It is Charlie Ginchard. He's got a puncture. I thought I heard somebody rattle into the wall there. He gets spun aside by Ben Bates. You can see the right front tyre is flat as a result of hitting the wall. That's the end of Ginchard's race. And the leader comes up on Ben Bates to lap him. Flying Brummie, as he's known. Inside goes the 184. Problems with the back markers here. The spin there. Coming down the home straight. Oh, that's Ginchard trying to get out of the way backwards. Joe Marquand rather has fallen down the order. Johnny Marquand was his grandfather, of course, the former world champion. Apologies there. Coming into the final few laps now. Luke Wrench is up into second position, I should say. Now the leader lapping John Palmer. Of course, we saw him get caught in a pile-up courtesy of Luke Wrench's front bumper earlier on. Palmer a lap down to Aaron Bates. Now, is he going to try and have a go at the leader here, try and take him out? Might take his frustrations out on Aaron Bates there. Pretty pugnacious drivers, these two. Bates just drives away from him. So quick tonight here at the Smeatharpe Stadium. Coming round to start his final lap. He is heading for victory. Great measured driving by 184 Aaron Bates, eschewing his usual hard-hitting style. Quick and careful drive in this meeting final, and he's going to take the win. Luke Wrench up into second place. It's a win for Aaron Bates. Here he comes, smokes the tyres as he crosses the line, takes the checkered flag. Bates wins it. Second goes to Luke Wrench. Race to the line for third, Ben Goddard. I think just possibly ahead of Stephen Gilbert there. Very close between those two. We lose Joe Marquand on the final turn. That's a shame. Ben Borthwick we've lost there as well, I noticed. 418. He was going well in the middle stages of that race. Power slide in celebration for 184 Aaron Bates. He wins tonight's final and wins the ladies' trophy as well. Annual award presented here at Smeatharpe going back many years. Its latest recipient is Aaron Bates. Second for Luke Wrench. I think it was Ben Goddard, the Consolation winner, in third place. I think he just beat Stephen Gilbert home. We'll confirm that in a few moments' time. Confirm the rest of the results of that meeting final as well. Good lively race. Aaron Bates the winner by 2.5 seconds ahead of Luke Wrench. It was Goddard who just beat Gilbert home for third. Harley Burns fifth ahead of Paul Rice. Good recovery after problems in the early stages for Burns. Then Matt Stoneman, Paul Moss, Joe Marquand after his last bend incident, and John Palmer a lap down, completing the top 10.
Final winner, 184 Aaron Bates, and winner of a rather nice trophy there, the ladies' trophy.
Yeah, it's a really nice trophy, and yeah, it was a good race. Just a shame about getting wet with the champagne, so
yeah, but you'll take that, won't you? Champagne, winner's champagne.
Yeah, it's starting to get a bit cold and sticky now, so yeah.
And all the action today, or most of it, has involved you somewhere along the line.
Yeah, there's been some good stock car racing today. I've managed to, I got a fourth in the Grand National Championship. That was a good race, proper stock car racing. In the final then, same again really, but I was lucky, I just managed to get through. Everything worked out, I had the right tyres on, so yeah, car felt good.
Yeah, you certainly made the most of the conditions. Track's got a little bit better from earlier on, but Grand National could be lively as well though.
Yeah, hopefully it will be. Hopefully I'll get a stoppage and I can sort of get through into the top 10. So.
And if there's no stoppages, make one.
Yeah, hopefully.
Well, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Final race of the night then here at Smeatharpe Stadium, the Grand National, for the Track Scene Trophy. Biggest grid of the night pretty much, except for the Grand National Championship earlier on. 28 cars out there for this one. Names to look out for include John Palmer. Is his luck going to change here? Aaron Vates, our final winner, of course, goes as final winner from the lap handicap. Let's see if he can make up the ground. So right there we've got the likes of Steve Gilbert, Charlie Ginchard, John Palmer we've mentioned, Harley Burns, Matt Stoneman, Chevy Mills, Jess Ward's in there, Moss as well, and Luke Wrench, of course, can't count him out. Ben Goddard as well from the blue grade. Size that grid, they almost stretch right the way around the raceway. Josh Vickers electing to start from the back along with Dame Pritlove, our novice. Jamie Jones on pole, Jamie Ward Scott 881 alongside it. Ben Spence behind them, he deserves a good result here. Make their way round then under the yellow lights. Ready for the Grand National. Green flag goes down and away we go with the track scene trophy. Towards that first turn, looks like Jamie Ward Scott in 881 has got the best getaway already. Bumpers going in further back, Wrench, Ginchard and Palmer. Already into battle attacking Steve Gilbert as well, fires him into the back of Jess Ward in the 86, who lost her aerofoil earlier on in the first race of the night. That got some damage. Steve Gilbert now has a go at Palmer. The two checkered roofed cars getting involved. The silver roof behind them, a 560. Luke Wrench. Of course, if they spend too much time battling one another, they won't rise up the order to challenge the leaders. Current leader is Jamie Ward Scott in number 881. They're still at it, these three. Look at this, they're knocking 8 bells out of each other. Wrench, Gilbert and Palmer fighting it out in the midfield. Too busy with each other to attack the lower graders at the moment. Jamie Ward Scott in the lead, Ben Spence in second place. Jamie Jones, I think, still is third. Then Ben Bates has come through into fourth. He's got a break from the front of the blue top. So Luke Wrench in problems there, he's slowing down. Lost Ben Goddard as well. Another car goes wallop straight in. That was Jamie Jones. Lost Goddard there. Luke Wrench has slowed up as well, and Jack Cave's picked up by Palmer, deposits him almost into the wall on turn 4. Pick up the leaders in a moment. I think Ben Bates has gone through into the lead as a result of the white graders falling over each other slightly. Lost Luke Wrench, his run of success has come to an end. He's on the centre, and yes, Ben Bates has taken the lead from Jamie Ward Scott. It's the blue grader, the Midlands-based driver, who leads the way. There they go in the background. 183 of Charlie Ginchard, battling with Paul Rice in the 890, chasing Steve Gilbert. Made the break from his battling rivals, I think. There's Bates. Leading the way, Julian Coombs is up there as well in 828. It's the 161 car that has got the lead. Usually races number 242, Ben Bateman has changed number this year, in line with his father and grandfather, who both raced under number 161 in their own careers. We lose a couple of cars. Lindsay in 572 was one of them. The other was one of the yellow graders. I think it might have been Russ Chadwick. Here's Aaron Bates coming through from the lap handicap, getting past Paul Moss in the 979 car there. Smoking a little there, and Chevy Mills has been taken out. Charlie Ginchard getting the bumper in, nearly took out Steve Gilbert as well. Still pretty lively stuff. We're in the second half of this Grand National now. There goes the leader, Ben Bates in 161. Jamie Jones is still well up there in the 915 as well. Most of the action in the midfield. It seems like the higher graders busy fighting each other, allowing the blue graders to do the race leading. Dave Sansom currently in second place, I think. It's Paul Moss. He's a lap down in 979. He's behind our race leader. There is Ben Bates in 161. There's Chevy Mills. We saw him spin earlier on. Dave Sansom is the man in second place. Third, I think, is John Palmer in the 24, so he can be moving up to challenge. You can see how bumpy the raceway is from that angle over the patches in the concrete there. 24 of John Palmer. He's got past Julian Coombs, and it's Bates still with the lead in the 161 car. Began his career in the ORCI mini stocks and his local raceways of Birmingham Wheels and Hensford Hills Raceway, Bampton as well. Moving on up into the world of Brisca F2 when he turned 16, was a winner almost right out of the blocks under his old number. John Palmer in the 24. He can't catch the 161, the Flying Brummie as we call him. Closing stages now. Still Dave Sansom second. Looks like it's Palmer in third place. Next in the order, looks like it will be Charlie Ginchard in the 183. Moving into the back markers now, Ben Bates in the 161. Jack Cave behind him in the 801, who's just been lapped, Captain Caveman. Ben running well clear of his opposition. This is an impressive drive for the 161. He's on his last lap now, and I think this could be about to be the first win under his new number. He takes out Dane Pritlove there in the 540 car into the infield tyres, and wallop, he's collected by Julian Coombs. Won't phase our race winner though. Ben Bate takes the flag in car 161. Dane Pritlove's okay, gets the car out of the way there. Julian Coombs, I think, was able to continue as well. More contact on the final turn. Mark Gibbs under fire, but this man has taken the win. 161, the Flying Brummie. Ben Bate has done it. Well done to the young Midlander. As the pack mate there waits the line. I think John Palmer got rather caught up there on the final turn. He's lost some ground. We'll confirm that results in just a few moments' time. No doubt about your race winner, of course. Under the floodlights here at the Smeatharpe Stadium, the crowd certainly going to go home happy after a very busy, very lively day of Brisca F2. The win going to Ben Bate by over 3 seconds ahead of Dave Sansom of Blue Grade 1 and 2. Stephen Gilbert third, John Palmer back to fifth ahead of behind White Raider Ben Spence, then Charlie Ginchard, Paul Rice, Harley Burns, Mark Gibbs and Matt Stoneman round out the top 10, and Aaron Bates made it up to 11th from the lap handicap.
Grand National winner, 161 Ben Bate. What a good end to a good day's racing.
Yeah, it's perfect end to be fair. Yeah, struggled in the final with how wet it was, but obviously managed to make the right tyre choices and whatever, and yeah, it was going well. So yeah, perfect end to a good day really. So
it has been a hectic meeting and all, hasn't it?
yeah, it has to be fair. Yeah, I enjoyed the first race. Got a bit unlucky, got tangled. It was going well, but yeah, it's been good. Yeah, I say the final was probably the worst race, just all over the place. But yeah, I've managed to get it going well, and yeah, it's going really well. So I was pleased with the car.
And it's nice to see you get a win, because a couple of the last few meetings we've filmed, we've seen you having a bit of fun, shall we say?
That's it. Yeah, just a bit of fun. So yeah, it's nice to get going and have a good race and get some good results. So.
And of course, we're coming to the end of what's been a difficult season. To get a win this late in the season as well, it gives you confidence for hopefully what will be a normal year next year.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, obviously confidence in the car, get the car going, get it a bit better. Now we're getting used to it. So yeah, hopefully carry on next year how we finish this year really. So
well done again.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Let's take a look at the top 12 in the national points at this stage of the season. Despite a slightly frustrating day here at Taunton, John Palmer hangs on to his lead ahead of Charlie Ginchard up to second. Aaron Bates' final win putting him into third, and Luke Wrench's good results tonight, with the exception of the last race. He's in fourth ahead of the absent Dave Polly. Well, that concludes the action here at the Smeatharpe Stadium then. Well done indeed to all our drivers putting on a show despite these slippery conditions. Well done to Luke Wrench, our Grand National Champion. Thanks for watching our coverage tonight from Taunton.